Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare dime coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Coin number 1. If you're a coin lover or just love a great treasure hunt story, you absolutely have to sit tight for this, because today I'm taking you on a journey into American numismatic history. We're diving deep into one of the rarest, most mysterious, and most coveted coins ever minted by the United States Mint ever, the 1894 Barber dime. Grab your magnifying glass, pour yourself a drink, and get ready, because this isn't just a coin. This is legend. Imagine walking into a dusty old vault, decades after the coin was struck, or casually flipping through a jar of old coins, and stumbling on a tiny piece of American history worth more than some houses. That's the magic behind the 1894 Barber dime. In 1894, the San Francisco Mint struck only 24 of these dimes. Yes, just 24. And of those, today only 9 are confirmed to exist. Why so few? That part remains shrouded in mystery, and that's part of the fascination. Some say they were specially struck as gifts for wealthy bankers. Others believe they were struck to correct an accounting discrepancy of exactly $2.40. Another popular legend claims a few were given as keepsakes to the mint superintendent's daughter, who supposedly spent one on an ice cream cone and eventually sold the rest decades later. Whether any of those stories are true, we may never know. But what's clear is that at the time they were struck, dime production at the San Francisco Mint was practically non-existent, which makes the 1894 Barber dime not just rare, but historically significant. Let's talk design. On the obverse, you've got Lady Liberty, her cap, the cropped hair, the classical, restrained elegance typical of the Barber series. On the reverse, the neat wreath encircling one dime. The coin weighs 2.50 grams, has a diameter around 17.9 millimeters, and is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper. But this isn't a dime you're going to stumble across at a garage sale in the corner of a dusty box of just old coins. All genuine 1894 Barber dimes are proofs struck specially, and never meant for circulation. That makes counterfeits and bogus mint marks a serious risk for anyone claiming to own one. In fact, many of the coins people claim are 1894s are almost certainly fakes. Owning an authentic 1894 Barber dime isn't just about rarity, it's about pedigree, provenance, and verification by top grading and certification firms. Over the decades, the 1894 dime has become almost mythic in the coin world. It is often spoken of in the same breath as other big three American rarities like the 1804 silver dollar or the 1913 Liberty head nickel. So, what happens when one shows up at auction? As you may expect, coin-hungry collectors meet it with jaws dropped. In 2016, at a premier auction held at the Convention of American Numismatists, the finest known 1894s, graded PR66 by a top certification service, sold for just under $2 million. Then in August 2019, another example, graded Proof 63, emerged at auction from the collection of a wealthy American collector. It sold for $1,320,000. That's right, over $1 million for a single dime, a dime the US Mint originally produced to be worth 10 cents. If you're a collector, that fact alone should send chills down your spine. But beyond money, the 1894 Barber dime represents a story. A piece of American minting history. A mystery that spans over a century. And the thrill of potentially uncovering a genuine one, knowing it might be one of only 9 in existence worldwide, is exactly the sort of thing that draws passionate collectors into sleepless nights and lifelong hunts. So if you ever happen across an 1894 dime or someone claims they have one, listen very carefully. Check the details, the date, the mint mark, and S beneath the wreath, the proof-like qualities on both sides, the weight, the metal composition, even the subtle flow of light across the fields and devices. Fake mint marks and sloppy re-engraving abound. If you think it might be genuine, get it graded by professionals. That verification can turn a mere curiosity into a legend, because with the 1894 Barber dime, you're not just holding a dime. You're holding a legend cast in silver. A historic mystery wrapped in intrigue. A coin that proves once again that even something as tiny as a dime can carry the weight of history and fortune, and if you ask me, if I had one of those 9 survivors in my hands, I'd treasure it not just for its value, but for its story. For the mystery. For being part of a history that's still alive today. In current real market auctions and private sales, specimens of 1894's Barber dime have fetched in the ballpark of $1,320,000 to just under $2 million. The 2019 auction brought in $1,320,000 and the 2016 sale saw one of the finest specimens reach just under $2 million. If you're a coin lover, that's not just a price, that's a dream. And that dream might just be waiting in the next dusty coin jar you open. Coin number 2. We dive into a coin that hides one of the most fascinating and thrilling stories in American coin collecting. A coin that many people mistakenly overlook, yet it carries some of the most surprising mysteries, dramatic errors, and exciting discoveries of the 20th century. Today we are exploring the universe of the extremely rare and highly desirable United States of America 1945 1 dime, a coin from the famous Mercury dime series that ended an entire era of American silver coinage. But what makes the 1945 dime so special? Why do collectors hunt for certain variations of this coin with such passion? And what are the shocking errors from this year that can transform a small silver dime into a treasure worth real money? Stay with me, coin lovers, because today we open the vault to uncover secrets, stories, and facts that collectors listen to with full attention, the kind of coin adventure that keeps people watching until the very last second. The year is 1945. World War II is coming to an end. Factories are running non-stop, and the U.S. Mint is striking silver coins to meet the demands of a growing economy. Inside that busy minting year lies the final chapter of the Mercury dime, the last time this legendary design would ever be produced. The obverse displays the iconic winged Liberty portrait, often confused with the Roman god Mercury because of the winged cap symbolizing freedom of thought. The reverse features a fasces wrapped with ancient Roman symbolism of unity, strength, and peace through justice. This was the last breath of a design loved by millions. Now imagine, millions of these dimes were minted, but inside that mountain of silver hides a few coins that defy normality. Coins that pass through the minting machines with rare mistakes. Coins struck on the wrong blanks. Coins with doubled images. Coins missing details. Coins with errors so dramatic and unusual that their value climbed into the thousands. This is where rarity is born, not in the millions, but in the handfuls. In the coins that slipped through unnoticed and survived decades in pockets, drawers, jars, and dark corners of history. One of the most famous and rarest errors from 1945 is the full bands designation. Collectors adore this feature because it shows that the U.S. Mint produced an unusually sharp, perfectly detailed strike. The horizontal bands on the fasces must be fully separated, clearly defined, not mushed or blended. Most 1945 dimes do not have this level of perfection, making the full bands variety a star of the show. When you find an example with bright luster, razor-sharp details, and those perfect bands across the reverse, you are holding a treasure that can impress even veteran collectors. But rarity doesn't stop with strike quality. There are 1,945 dimes struck on improperly prepared planchets, creating smooth surfaces, streaks, or cracks. Some were double-struck, adding ghost-like images across Liberty's face or the lettering. Others contain die cracks running like lightning across the fields. These dramatic mint errors are the kind of surprises collectors dream of discovering. You also must watch out for off-center strikes from the 1940s. A 1945 dime that is noticeably off-center instantly becomes a high-value collectible. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more desirable the coin becomes. Even a small percentage of off-center misstriking can significantly increase its worth. Collectors love the 1945 dime because it marks the end of the Mercury series, and final year coins always carry emotional and historical weight. When a series ends, collectors begin hunting for the best possible examples. And when they find those premium, high-grade pieces, especially ones with full bands or rare errors, the excitement is electric. Imagine flipping a coin over and realizing you are holding one of the finest survivors from the final year of an American classic. This fascination keeps people searching jar after jar, box after box, coin roll after coin roll. And the thrill of discovery is real. You never know when a simple silver dime in your hand might be one of the rare error varieties that collectors worldwide chase like treasure hunters. Now let's talk about value, the real market prices that serious collectors have paid in today's world. A perfect condition example with the famous full band strike has reached the value of well over $40,000 in major auctions. Superb condition pieces have sold for more than $10,000. Even mid-grade examples with sharp features have reached values in the range of several $1,000s. Dramatic mint errors from the year 1945 have brought auction results reaching above $5,000 depending on the rarity and condition. These prices show that even though this coin is small, its importance is enormous. For collectors, the value lies not only in the silver it contains, but in the story, the history, the artistry, and the excitement that this final year Mercury dime represents. Coin number 3. Coin collectors, buckle up, because we are stepping into one of the most exciting, mysterious, and surprising years in American dime history, the year 1942. A year when the United States Mint, working under the pressure of World War II, produced a silver dime that would later become one of the most fascinating pieces for collectors around the world. And today we are exploring every detail of the extremely rare United States of America 1942 one dime coin, a coin from the famous Mercury dime series that hides thrilling stories, valuable errors, and unexpected treasures that can turn an ordinary silver coin into something worth real money. Now get ready, coin lovers, because this is the kind of story that people listen to carefully, the kind of deep dive that keeps viewers watching till the very last second. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this coin adventure. The year is 1942. America is deep into the war era. Factories are roaring. The mint is working day and night. Silver is flowing through the presses. Millions of dimes are being struck to support a nation that is rushing toward victory. In the middle of this intense chapter in history, the U.S. Mint continues producing the iconic Mercury dime with its winged liberty portrait on the front, symbolizing liberty of thought and free speech. This design, created by Adolph A. Weinman, is elegant, powerful, and instantly recognizable. But this year, something unusual happened, something that would make the 1942 dime one of the most talked about coins in American numismatic history. This year produced incredible strike varieties, unbelievable dime mistakes, and one of the most shocking mint errors in the entire Mercury dime series. As collectors know, the 1942 over 1941 overdate error is one of the most legendary mistakes ever created. When a die that originally had the date 1941 was repunched to become 1942, the underlying digits of the earlier date stayed behind, creating a dramatic, bizarre shadow effect beneath the final numbers. When collectors discovered this variety, it became an instant sensation. The overdate error is so rare and so visually spectacular that collectors chase it with unmatched passion. But even outside the overdate, the year 1942 is packed with valuable surprises. Some dimes were struck on worn planchets, creating streaks, lumps, or missing details. Others were double struck, leaving ghost-like outlines around Liberty's face, lettering, and fasces bands. Some coins were made with rotated dies, causing the reverse to twist away from the normal alignment. A few lucky finds include off-center strikes, where 10 to 20% of the coin is missing, instantly making it rare and expensive. Collectors especially pay attention to the full band strike in the 1942 series. A full band's coin shows sharp, perfectly separated horizontal bands across the fasces on the reverse. These are the holy grail of strike quality. Only the strongest, cleanest, most perfectly executed mint strikes reveal those perfect bands, and when a collector finds one in top condition, they know they have discovered something special. The year 1942 also carries emotional weight. These coins were circulating during the war. Many were carried by soldiers, spent by families, lost, saved, and forgotten. Finding a high-grade example today is like opening a time capsule, a perfect silver survivor of a world-changing era. And that is exactly why collectors love this year: the history, the artistry, the mistakes, and the stories hidden inside each dime. Picture this: A small silver coin that survived the war, the decades, the pockets, the drawers, the coin jars. And then imagine that coin turning out to be an overdate error, or a perfectly struck full bands piece. That feeling, the thrill of discovery, is why collectors all over the world spend hours searching through bags and rolls of mercury dimes, hoping to find one of these valuable survivors. These rare pieces don't just carry value because of silver. They carry value because of rarity. Because each one tells a story. Because each one holds a piece of history in your hand. And now, let's talk about what collectors always want to know: the real value in today's market. The 1942 over 1941 overdate diamond high grade has reached auction values of well over $100,000. Extremely sharp full bands examples from this year have reached values in the range of more than $20,000. Beautiful condition pieces without errors have still sold for more than several $1,000s depending on the grade. Dramatic mint errors, including double strikes and off-center pieces, have reached values of more than $5,000 in auctions. So yes, a tiny silver dime from 1942 can truly become a treasure worth real money. And the thrill of that possibility is what keeps collectors searching, studying, and exploring the beautiful world of American coinage. Coin number 4. We are diving deep into a world where tiny silver coins carry gigantic stories, where the smallest detail can transform a simple dime into a rare treasure worth real money. Coin lovers, get ready, because today we explore the mysterious and fascinating universe of the United States of America rare 1937 one-dime coin, a mercury dime from an era filled with artistic beauty, minting surprises, and hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. This is the kind of story collectors listen to with full attention, the type of coin adventure that keeps viewers watching until the last frame. The year is 1937. America is still recovering from the Great Depression. Factories are humming again, spirits are slowly rising, and the U.S. Mint is producing silver coins with precision and pride. Among them shines the mercury dime, one of the most beloved and artistically stunning designs ever placed on American coinage. Its obverse shows the iconic winged Liberty portrait, often mistaken for the Roman god Mercury. But the wings on the cap are symbols of freedom of thought, a message that still feels powerful today. Turn it over and the reverse presents a fasces, an ancient symbol of strength and unity, wrapped by an olive branch of peace. Together, they create a design that is bold, elegant, and deeply meaningful, but beneath this beauty, 1937 hides its own mysteries. Even though millions of these dimes were minted, only a small fraction survived in exceptional condition. Only a few escaped heavy circulation, scratches, scrapes, and the wear of decades. And within that small group of survivors live the rarest, most desirable, and most exciting pieces that collectors hunt with unshakable determination. What makes the 1937 dime so fascinating is the combination of rarity and high grade, the hunt for full bands examples, and a series of unusual mint errors that slipped through the presses during the minting year. Each one has the potential to turn a regular silver dime into something far more valuable, something that sparks conversation and excitement among collectors everywhere. Let's talk about one of the biggest attractions for serious collectors, the full band strike. On the reverse, the fasces is tied with horizontal bands. When these bands are sharply, perfectly struck, meaning they are clean, separate, and fully defined, the coin earns the prestigious full bands designation. Most 1937 dimes aren't struck strongly enough to show these details. So when you do find one with blazing luster and perfect full bands, you're looking at a rarity that collectors instantly notice and desire, but that's just the beginning. The year 1937 saw a variety of minting errors that give certain dimes surprising value. Some were struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing and creating dramatic visual appeal. Others were double-struck, causing ghost-like images to appear across Liberty's face and the reverse symbols. There are coins struck on improperly mixed planchets, showing streaky surfaces or unusual textures. Some dies cracked during production, leaving jagged raised lines across the coin, a feature collectors love identifying. A few even show rotated dies, where the obverse and reverse don't align normally, creating rare and desirable misalignments. All these errors and varieties combine to make the 1937 dime a thrilling hunt. Collectors enjoy this year because it offers both affordability for beginners and astonishing high-end value for experts. A high-grade example with strong luster can be breathtaking. A full band's example can be a trophy. And an error from this year can be a true prize. Imagine the excitement of searching through a group of old coins, flipping one over, and suddenly realizing that the tiny dime in your hand might not be ordinary at all, but a rare, beautifully struck, well-preserved treasure from 1937. That moment of discovery is what keeps collectors searching for years. It's the heartbeat of numismatics, the thrill of the unknown, the spark of hope that the next coin you check might be something incredibly special. Now let's get to the part collectors always listen for carefully: the real-world market value. In today's market, superb condition 1937 dimes with sharply defined full bands have sold for more than $10,000 in major auctions. Beautiful high-grade examples without the full bands still bring in values of more than $1,000. And dramatic mint-era varieties from this year have reached auction prices of more than $5,000 depending on the rarity, strike, and condition. This shows that even a small silver dime from 1937 can become a treasure worth real money, a true collector's prize with beauty, history, and rarity all wrapped into one tiny coin.